In today's society, we see the top of people's heads more than the color of their eyes, and individuals see more of their shoes on the ground than the clouds in the sky. The reason we see more hair and less eyes, more shoes and less clouds, are due to the increase of technology and the dependence of social networks among young adults. According to Dr. Matthew J. Question's 2009 Rocky Mountain Communication Review, new media technologies have redefined how young adults acquire information about the world, leading them to be more dynamic and active as individuals and citizens in the digital and real world. Besides obtaining information about the world through new technology, why else are these young adults nose deep in mobile technology? The answer is social networking sites. What really are social networking sites? Well, according to Jesse Falk and Katie Wilber's 2013 study, social networking sites in romantic relationships, attachment uncertainty, and partner surveillance on Facebook, they define social networking sites as an internet service with the ability for a user to A. Create a public or semi-public profile, B. Identify and connect with other users, and C. Trace these first-degree connections to identify members farther out in the collective network. As the majority of young adults have new media technologies and access to one another's social networking sites, my documentary, We're Totally Together, but It's Not Facebook Official, will focus on how social networking sites have become vital to young adults, especially in romantic relationships, through the prominent use of social networking in their lives, its ability to make us fall in love, and or utterly hate someone due to a lack of honesty. Social networking sites have enhanced romantic relationships through the use of these new sites by creating relationships and establishing intimacy. But don't forget, where there is good, there is always bad. Sometimes individuals feel the stress of being so interconnected and knowing one another's moments via social networking sites. Before we start posting about our latest romantic relationship or calling our girlfriends up asking why he liked her picture, let's begin with how important social networking sites are in young adult lives. As we've all heard from our parents, you're always on your phone. Get off of it and join the conversation. A study published in Information, Communication, and Society by Paul Mahildas states, youth's increased civic activity online can promote good civic behavior online by supporting causes, advocating for movements, and raising local awareness about social issues. Think about this past year in moments such as hashtag #YesAllWomen, hashtag #BringBackOurGirls, hashtag #WhereIStayed, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, ISIS, and the Michael Brown case in Ferguson, Missouri. All these events were known widely through the use of social networking sites. Researchers Falk and Lauber found college students spent 1 to 2 hours per day on social network sites, obtaining information from the outside world and interconnecting with their peers. Young adults require daily information and communication through social networking sites. Becoming an active member of society is to be up to date on world issues. Young adults become more aware of the outside world through social networking sites and try to make an impact digitally and physically. Social networking sites allow young adults to read or watch various news articles and voice their opinions about the issues at hand. Think back to the 2008 election between Democrat Barack Obama and Republican John McCain. Researcher Dr. Paul Mahildas' 2014 Information, Communication, and Society found 41% of young adults receive information about the 2008 election from watching videos of campaign speeches and debates online. Continuing from the study, when young adults seek news on a particular story, the most common way was to Google the story, and then continuing with visiting a specific website. Similarly, young adults use social networking sites in the classroom. Students use social networking sites for group projects, sharing and asking questions about assignments. 71% used Wikipedia to conduct research for a class. 96% Googled for research. Students say they use Facebook as a way to connect with classmates on group projects and share assignments or notes. Social networking sites are not always used for serious matters. Young adults use social networking sites to stay connected with friends, make new friends, and schedule time to meet up with one another. Researchers Dr. Chai-Chen Yang, Dr. B. Bradford Brown, and Dr. Michael T. Braun state in their 2014 New Media and Society journal that young adults rely on internet-based channels to stay connected in long-distance relationships, such as with college students and their parents.
That looks good. That looks really good. It's clean and simple. No Disneyland, no live new girls. Watch. Relationship status. Interested in. This is what drives life in college. Are you having sex or aren't you? It's why people take certain classes and sit where they sit and do what they do when at some center, you know. That's what the Facebook is going to be about. People are going to log on because after all the cake and watermelon, there's a chance they're actually going to get laid. Meet a girl. Yes.
I'd say again, I don't think we can ever go back to a time where social media wasn't just implied in romantic relationships. I think that, there's no going back now. And so romantic relationships are going to involve social media now. And so I think that, like in other times in history or other kind of developments of romantic connection, it's just going to be used the way other things were used. And I think that it as with those times, it has the capacity to be very meaningful and significant, but also to ruin everything.
When it comes to love and connecting with someone, it can be far-fetched that romantic relationships can be established and intimate via social networking sites. But with the new technology and new times, a new form of dating has emerged. Before social networking sites became a huge part of our lives, the dating scene was initiated through calling up a potential romantic partner and asking them out on a date. Now with social networking sites, a new form of dating has emerged, called digital courtship. Digital courtship is when new individuals meet in person, connect on a social networking site such as Facebook, then exchange cell phone numbers, interact in a group setting, proceeding to interactions with one another through their social networking sites, such as writing on each other's Facebook walls, to finally leading to going out on a date.
Would suggest that there are very few relationships anymore that start without the use of social media. Like, social media is almost the way people get into relationships to begin with. Mm-hmm. So I think the beginning of romantic relationships is very much utilizing social media.
As young adults live constantly on the go, dating this way makes it easier for them to connect and figure out what they are looking for in a partner. Although it may sound weird and be a completely impersonal way to establish a romantic relationship, it has become the newest way for young adults to initiate courtship and flirt. Emily Lawrence, writer for 17 magazine, further explains how social networking sites are used for initiating courtship and flirting. According to her 2013 article, How Many Tweets Does It Take to Fall in Love?, Lawrence states the most common way for freshers to start a flirtationship is through Twitter. Continuing from her article, Lawrence cites a 2013 study by Claire Carter, issued through European e-trailer Pixmania. It takes an average of 224 tweets, 163 text messages, 70 Facebook messages, 37 emails, and 30 phone calls to fall head over heels in love. Continuing from Carter's study, Carter found men to use social networking sites more productively in initiating courtship and flirting than women. Her study found an average of 517 Facebook messages and tweets were sent out per year among men in an attempt to woo a romantic partner.
I've noticed social media has helped couples in being able to stay in contact with each other throughout the day. Mm-hmm. People are able to post inside jokes within their relationship that each partner can feel very touched on the inside by knowing their partner is thinking about them throughout the day. So I've seen lots of ways it's been helpful for couples to sort of keep in contact with each other throughout the day, but also be able to publicly be able to say something about their relationship.
I guess because we went to like schools in the same county, but
yeah.
Then he messaged me after we went to the baseball game.
Yeah, it was initially meant to be like her and then my friend and then me, so like just kind of keep it more social. But then I was like, hey, well, my friend couldn't end up going, so I was like, I'll just ask her because I wanted something to happen there. So it definitely worked out. So.
As you can see, young adults are becoming creative in how they initiate courtship and flirt with potential romantic partners. After establishing a relationship, how creative can young adults be when it comes to the intimacy part of a relationship through social networking sites? Social networking sites allow young adults to publicize information about themselves on site. Facebook allows young adults to display their romantic relationship or not, and most young adults refer to this as becoming Facebook official. Researchers Falk and Wahlberg define Facebook official as both partners are in an exclusive relationship where neither partner is allowed to date other people. Couples who display this information on their social networking sites are making a statement in the cyber world that they are in a long-term committed relationship, all together and exclusive. This simple act of displaying your exclusion with your partner secures the love you have for one another, because it requires both parties to consent implications between the partner and social circles around them.
You are like publicly saying this person is important to me, and especially for men, that really get a lot of mileage out of words of affirmation, and they want to be appreciated. If you can do that publicly for the right guy, then that's just another little way to tell him you appreciate him, that he's special. A month ago or so, my husband every day almost brings me coffee in bed, and breakfast. And I just put the picture of the coffee cup, and I was like, I'm so lucky, I get coffee in bed every morning. And, that's like a great way of letting the world know that your guy is great, and you can feel good about it.
Don't believe everything you read or see online. That old saying still stands when social networking sites are free, open, and public to individuals who have access to the internet. You can never be too careful when it comes to meeting people through the social networking sites. The negative effects of social networking sites allow individuals to display their best representation of themselves, distort their reality, and create false hope for romance. As one New York Times writer, David Wagner, said it best, social media is a contraceptive to romantic relationships. As individuals create their personal Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, they display the best version of themselves. When David Wagner's 2013 New York Times article, Social Media is a Romance Contraceptive, Wagner confirms the idea that people display their best selves on social networking sites. Quote photo from his article, Wagner states, dating and social media actually go together perfectly. The flirtee gets a super shiny version of you, the polished, pretty, always brilliant version. People might insist that their social media profiles are them, warts and all, but all of those warts have been highly edited to look darn fabulous in a status update. We do the same when we prepare for a first date. It's all just painting a more appealing picture of ourselves. The mystery hasn't gone anywhere. These days, it's just very carefully constructed.
Way possible. They are starting from, basically it allows relationships to start from the place of a lie. It allows people to put this version of themselves that often is maybe who they want to be or who they think the world wants them to be. And whoever posted their social media profile picture, the picture you would see, what they look like when they just went to the grocery store. I mean, this is the best of the best. And I would say, I work with a lot of different clients, a lot of different students, and I'd say 90% of them have said, the person who walked in on that date that I met on Tinder, that I so much introduced me on Facebook, looked nothing like their picture. Okay, so that is our best day, that is on that profile picture, or, Twitter feed picture, or Instagram, or whatever. Nobody comes up with pictures of themselves, okay? So I think from the beginning, it almost starts from the place of people saying, I'm the coolest, most interesting person in the world, and look at all these interesting things I do 24/7. So, and when I coach people, I actually sort of discourage them from doing a lot of online stalking, because whether it's accurate or inaccurate, social media gives you only a slice of a person's true self, and you can make a lot of mistakes ruling people out by making a lot of assumptions. Whether it's, he's a player because he has a couple pictures with gold, or, he's a partier because you see a picture of him, having a drink.
With glorified versions of ourselves on social networking sites, how can we truly believe the people we meet online? According to the Huffington Post writer Tyler Ferry, social networking sites leave you guessing the truth about someone you met online. From his 2013 article, How Social Media Are Ruining Your Love Life, Ferry states social media presences can leave you second-guessing what your partner may be like after you have already met in person. We don't know what is behind all the pretty statuses, photos, and tastes on social media. Applications like Facebook and Instagram portray a disjointed, and altogether imaginary version of the people we are.
I think sometimes when everything's based online, you miss some of that, which then can lead you to think you really know someone and then maybe really get more attached than you would have otherwise, only to find out later that they're not really who you thought they were. And then that you have all the negative repercussions that come from that, like, feeling like you were let down, just being sad because you thought you loved somebody and then it didn't work out. So I think those are some negative things that can happen. Just the idea that people are different online than they are in real life. And we all know that, and we all expect that. But when you are falling in love with someone, you're not really thinking in a rational way. And so sometimes that can just really get to a skewed perception.
As the future continues to create new technologies and social networking sites allow young adults to express, share, create, consume, and collaborate, Your romantic relationships will forever be displayed for the cyber world to see. Utilizing these social networking sites and clarifying what you and your romantic partner understand as mutually exclusive will enhance the relationship and portray the love you two have between one another. No relationship is perfect, and there is no way for anyone to fully understand the depths of your romantic relationship. But that's the point. It's your romantic relationship and your social network presence online. You create the image with your romantic partner, establishing a defined sense of what it means to be committed online, increasing online intimacy, and still engaging in courtship will allow the development of romantic relationships among young adults to flourish and prosper.